Welcome back to Comics League. My name is Jared, and today we're talking about why Batman works as a character. Now, this is a very important question because Batman is like the top-selling comic book character, of DC's entire publishing line, as is evident by the fact that the DC's numbers came out and all their top-selling books were Batman, not even the Tom Taylor Superman. So really, what I think comes up to why Batman's so compelling is, let me put it this way, in a world of gods among men, this is the closest that the average person can get to a grounded character. Granted, Batman's a super rich dude that has all this mechanical equipment that can help him fight crime. But for the most part, he's just a dude with no powers, but he still is able to overcome anything. And that's part of what makes Batman such a great character. So that's number one. Number two, I think people are very fascinated by that James Bondy type of guy that has all the gadgets and such. So that's part of why I think he's such a great character, because he has this, because a Batman comes with all these different bat utilities in his utility belt, like the Bat Shark repellent, and the Batline, the Batarang, and such, and the Batmobile. He has all these different gadgets that help him on the job, and people like that sort of James Bondy-like character. Third, I really think it's more on the fact that it's really Batman is overcoming he will overcome anything. At this point, it's become like a trope in comic books that Batman will overcome anything because he's Batman. He will have invented all these different contingency plans. Heck, Tower of Babel, he created a contingency plan in case the Justice League ever turned evil, because it was a previous storyline where that occurred. So I think people like that whole always having a plan. But there's also the what I think is the main reason is because of his origin, because ultimately it's because Batman is the character that his whole mission, his whole modus operandi, I hope I'm using that correctly, is because he lost his parents in I would say an accident. It wasn't an accident, but it was like some street crime. And the reason he became Batman is so no one else has to go through that again. He's ultimately saying he doesn't want anyone to share in his trauma. And that's part of why I think Batman is universally beloved, because he has that indirect altruism, if you will, because I say the most altruistic superhero character is probably Superman and Wonder Woman. But the thing about Batman is that he expresses it in a different way. His whole motivation is so no one goes through his trauma. Granted, a lot of people have, because he refuses to kill. That's also because he doesn't rely on killing. Because really, for the most part, yeah, Batman kills. He uses it as the last resort. He doesn't rely on it to deal with people, because obviously he could just wipe out all of his villains. But really, this is where it shows more of his skill, that he refuses to kill them. He has that self-control, and he's skilled enough to defeat them without killing them. That's part of why he's such a cool character. That's really why I think Batman works as a character, for all of those reasons. Now, I think I'm going to, the next video, we'll talk about why Batman's films are compelling. But I hope you guys enjoyed that brief video. Actually, you know what? I'll do a little more. The thing about Batman also is that he has the best rogues gallery in DC Comics, and I'll talk about that in the next video. The thing about Batman's rogues is that, once again, like I alluded to in the last video, they're mostly normal people that have had, as the Joker put it in The Killing Joke, one bad day. One bad day makes them snap in some capacity to the point where they become like the villains that they fought. Let me put it to you this way. Take Harvey Dent, Two-Face. He was a district attorney, best friends with Bruce Wayne, who were really cleaning up crime. Then a criminal throws acid in Harvey's face, scars him permanently with the Two-Face thing. Then he becomes this crime boss because they mess with his head. So really, one bad day turned him into a bad guy. And that's a great point for why Batman's villains are so good and why Batman continues to be like one of the most like well-known and beloved superheroes of I think of all time. And I think the last point that I'm going to bring up is the fact that really with Batman, he also has the best allies because yes, he has the Justice League, but look at the Bat family. Dick Grayson, Nightwing, his first Robin. He trained and fostered and eventually intends for when Bruce Wayne retires, Dick Grayson's supposed to take over and become Batman. Like he did in Final Crisis, after Batman died, Dick Grayson became Nightwing because he realized there's always going to be a need for Batman. Next, the next character I think is really cool is Jason Todd because he represents Batman's greatest failure. Not only is he the Robin that died, but when he came back with a lethal vengeance. He has no compunction about killing, and in fact argues with Batman numerous times that, listen, your way is not working. We have to be able to kill these people. That's the only thing they recognize. And ultimately, that contributes to this animosity between the two. And the last Bat family member that I'm going to mention for this is probably Batgirl because she started off as like a fan of Batman, made her suit, joined Batman, got shot by the Joker, and became Oracle and became like the girl in the chair, if you will. And then she healed and became Batgirl again. And then I believe right now in Tom Taylor's Nightwing run, she is like the Oracle. So you have all these, this awesome, like diverse cast of characters that really, each of them is unique in their own way. They don't seem like a clone of each other. And that's a problem. That's not a problem. That's a consideration when adding all these different side characters. So I think that's a good place to leave this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this discussion about why Batman is so compelling. If you guys have your own reasons why you think Batman's the most popular DC character, drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to check them out. Anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Bye-bye.